What is up, everybody? I'm Maceo.
And I'm Ryan.
And welcome to Transit Live.
Now, this is my first time here, so can you explain what transit is?
Well, transit is all about inspiring and helping middle school students discover their faith, and transit is all about you, your friends, and their friends. And if you guys are new here, and if it is your first time, or if you guys are just tuning in with us, we'd love to know about you guys. Drop your name in the comments below. And this right here is my good friend Ryan, as he said before. And Ryan, I know that you're new here, so they don't really know who you are, so why don't you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Ryan. I go to the University of Florida. I'm originally from Michigan. I love and I miss that place. And I'm a young life leader at Kannapaha.
Kannapaha Middle School, one of the worst middle schools in town.
I would disagree with that.
Westwood is highly better.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you
We
take
had
that.
a slight plumbing problem, but that's besides the fact. We are still we are still better than most schools. But Ryan, I know that you are new here. I know that there's a lot of people here who is their first time. So what are some things that they can do so they can know a little bit more about transit?
Yeah, if it's your first time, like me, we'd love to send you a gift. There is a first-time guest link in the description below. If you could fill that out. While they're doing that, I know living with JC, I've seen some crazy videos from this. So what are we doing?
Well, Ryan, actually, today is not a challenge, but we're going to have you do something, and we're going to actually shave your leg hair.
Okay, good. I need to do that anyway.
No, we're not going to shave your leg hair, but we are going to play this game called 5-Second Challenge. We're going to test your wit, and we're going to see how fast you can come up with things, and we're going to have my good friend JC come up on stage. He's going to ask us a question, and we'll have 5 seconds to answer. We have to come up with 3 things.
Not 6 seconds.
Not 6 seconds. 5 seconds.
5,
Yes.
4, 3, 2.
And I'm pretty confident I'm going to win, Ryan. I'm a pretty competitive person.
Okay, so there's 2 things that you said today.
Mhm.
First, that Kannapaha is worse than Westwood, and you're gonna win.
Yes.
Like those are 2
True things.
No, they're incorrect. They're
No, they're
false.
true.
They're
Any-
false things.
Ryan, we're going to test this out. Here we go with the 5-Second Challenge.
Well, glad you guys are here. Ryan, glad you made it.
Oh, I'm excited.
Maceo, you're
I'm
back.
not Maceo. I'm Lil Mace. I got to be serious for this game, JC.
Little Mace.
Mhm,
I don't know if I'm able to call you Lil Mace.
Lil Mace in the streets, you feel me?
I don't think I can say that and actually hold street cred. So I'm just being honest. I don't think it's gonna happen. All right, so you explained the game earlier. Just a quick recap of what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna say list 3 things of a certain thing, and you gotta list it in 5 seconds. So I got my phone with my list up here. I got my phone with my timer down here. The first one to buzz in, right when you buzz, your 5 seconds starts. Cool? All right. 3 things you shouldn't do in a car. Maceo.
Poop, pee, and eat.
Eat. You made it.
You can't
barely
eat
made
in a car?
Well, he said he didn't say that you can't do it. He said that you shouldn't do it in the car.
All right, next one.
Oh wait, edge of the table.
Edge of the table.
Edge of the table.
3 NBA MVPs. Ryan.
LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, James Harden.
Perfect.
I don't disrespect it that you didn't put Kobe in there.
Hey, I just went with the current ones. I could have easily gone Jordan, Kobe, Will,
I'm just saying, just to play.
Bill Russell.
Pay
Like,
homage, just saying.
Be nice. You're fine. All right, so it's 1-1. Next round. 3 famous bald people.
Steve Harvey. Who else is bald?
Time.
Who else is bald? Yo, he said that Dr. Phil. That was the other one I was thinking about. I'm like, yo, it's 2
Michael
of them.
Jordan?
Michael
He's bald
Jordan.
now?
Dang it.
The Rock.
Bro, he's bald too.
yeah.
Yo, I don't know why Steve Harvey was the first one.
You tried.
I tried.
You tried.
I tried.
Think that. All right, next one. All right, 3 countries that start with an A. All right, next. Go.
Australia, Afghanistan, America.
Time. You didn't get there.
Wait.
Australia's a country?
All right, ready? List 3 names of planets. Ryan.
Earth, Mars, Venus.
All right, got it.
I would have lost anyways. I thought he was about to say the same thing.
You gotta listen, bud.
Yo, I blame Javier for these questions. Didn't he write these?
He did write these.
I blame Javier.
All right, so it's 3-2 right now. 3-2. Actually, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I got 2.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
two.
Let's go with
I
3.
got 2. He has 3.
Yes.
I've been keeping count.
All right.
I'm gonna make a comeback though.
All right.
No, you're not.
Think you're gonna make a
I'm gonna
comeback?
come back.
No, you're
You're
not.
gonna come back. All right. We'll do 2 more. Last two. I'm gonna come up with these on the spot because this is where we're at. This is where we're at. All right.
Jeez, I'm scared, JC. I'm scared.
Dude.
Shaking
All right.
in my boots.
3 things that you shouldn't wear as pants. Maceo.
Hats, shirts, and shoes.
Okay. Done. Killed it. 3 and 3. Tiebreaker.
Yep.
Last
Last
round.
one.
Last round.
Oh, gotta shake it out.
All right. 3 things you shouldn't do at a Gator game. Maceo.
Wear a FSU shirt, wear a LSU shirt, or wear any other shirt that is not Florida.
You made it.
Yep.
Great job.
Thank
Maceo,
you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
You took it. I'm very impressed.
Proud of myself.
You got some bragging rights still.
Mhm.
You got some
I'd
rights.
first like to thank my mom. I also like to thank Javier. I know I said your questions were trash, but I love you, man. And yeah, thank you, everybody.
And Ryan, thank you so much for coming here and losing to Maceo. We appreciate your participation at least.
I should have won that.
Maybe. Well, Maceo, we love having fun, but we had a lot of fun last night.
Yo, last night was crazy, JC.
And we did this thing called Digital Double Dog Dare-a-thon.
What is Digital Double Dog Dare-a-thon?
Well, Ryan, I'm actually glad that you asked that because we actually have a recap video of all the things that the students did. So we'd like for you guys to go ahead and see this video.
Wow, that looked really fun. I'm kind of sad I missed it. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
I saw there were a couple prizes in there
Yo.
that looked
There were
pretty good.
so many crazy prizes. Yo, I probably said my favorite prize. This kid, they won a 5-pound gummy bear. Like
that
it was
probably
like this big, and it was
probably like this thick. Like
yo, it was literally just all
thick.
gummy, and they also won like
With
a
3
2-foot. They also won like a 2-foot long gummy worm, dude. It was just so much.
That's a lot of gummy.
Yeah, man, it was so much. Well, I hear that we're in our next week in our series called In My Opinion.
Yeah, our good friend Adriana is going to continue the series. We'll see you after.
Hi friends, my name is Adriana. Don't like coffee, don't like tea. I'm not a real grown-up, but this morning it's not even 9 o'clock yet and I already have myself a milkshake, so come at me. Have you ever spoken up about something and it ended up being totally awkward or hurtful or embarrassing? I mean, you didn't mean any harm, but the way the words just came like spilling out of your mouth, just like just ended up doing more harm than good. I mean, I think we can all say we've been there, right? I know I have. So when we were younger, my little sister started making a bunch of really unhealthy, unwise, kind of stupid decisions. I mean, she was skipping school a lot, she was hanging out with people who didn't really know what was best for her, and she was doing all kinds of things that could cause her pain further down the road. Now, I didn't know when or how to speak up to her because she was my sister. She knew me better than anybody, and she knew all the ways that I had messed up. And I was just so afraid that she would turn around and say, no, you are not perfect, you do not get to tell me what to do. So when I finally did confront her, it was in this moment of just like, oh, I was so frustrated with her. And instead of talking to her with love and compassion, I just spoke out of my own hurt. And my words didn't make her realize that she was making bad decisions. I mean, I didn't stop to make sure that my words were full of love and concern, and so all they did was make her feel ashamed and awkward. And in that moment, it was like speaking up just made the situation way worse. Now, if you've been there, And you know how this feels, right? I mean, just like, of course, you didn't have these bad intentions when you said those things. I mean, we were just sharing our opinion, right? We're just being open and honest. But when that opinion causes awkwardness or embarrassment or even hurt, it can make us wonder if it was ever a good idea to speak up in the first place. Now, as bad as those awkward moments can be, I think they're probably not even the moments that we fear the most about speaking up. I think most often, the place that a lot of us run into this fear of sharing our opinions is actually with our friends. Now, maybe you're like, whoa, Adriana, pause. I can talk to my friends about anything. Well, that's because I'm not talking about the everyday easy stuff you share with your friends, like who your favorite singer is, or what your favorite Disney movie is, or what gross stuff you like putting on your pizza, like Oreos or hamster food. I don't know. I'm talking about the hard stuff, the difficult stuff, the stuff that makes speaking up or speaking out really complicated. Now, think about the last time you saw a friend making a bad choice. Maybe they were hanging out with the wrong crowd, a group of people who were really influencing them to make not so great decisions. Or maybe they were dating someone who was pressuring them to do something that they shouldn't, and your friend was slowly giving in. Now, maybe they were disobeying or disrespecting their parents. They were lying and arguing and getting super angry all of the time at home. Maybe you saw them stop caring about school or homework or about showing up to class. Maybe you knew they were watching shows they weren't supposed to, or sneaking around the parental controls on the internet, or posting inappropriate content on secret social media accounts. We've all been there too, right? I mean, we've all had a friend do something or be on the verge of doing something that we know is really not gonna be good for them. And when that happens, if you're anything like me, you probably wanna say something. You feel like you should speak up, but you aren't sure what to say or how to say it, or if you should say anything at all. It's times like these when we start to make excuses for ourselves. We tell ourselves things like, you know what my friends are doing is no big deal. Other times we tell ourselves, if I speak up, I might make my friend mad or even ruin our friendship, so I'm just not gonna say anything at all. Sometimes we don't speak up to a friend because we think, what can I even say to this person? I mean, I have done the exact same thing. Who would even listen to me if I spoke up about this? Another excuse we might tell ourselves is, that is really none of my business. I mean, if it has nothing to do with you and it doesn't affect you, can you actually say anything about it? Maybe you've convinced yourself not to speak up to a friend because you thought, I don't think they're gonna listen anyway. So speaking up is it's not even gonna make a difference. Or maybe you didn't speak up honestly to a friend because you know that you're not supposed to gossip, and it kind of felt like gossip. And even if you just brought it up to them, wasn't that doing the whole like unwholesome talk thing that you're not supposed to do, but you were doing it, and what are you gonna do? Another excuse you may have heard for not speaking up to a friend is because you thought, I already told them what I think. Do I really need to tell them again and again and again? You are not alone in those feelings. We've all been in situations where we knew we should speak up, but we made excuses for why we didn't. While I think it's normal to feel that way, we're gonna learn today why that's probably not the best choice we can make. Now, let me pause here and say that I know this isn't the case for all of us. I mean, some of you have zero problem speaking up and making your voice heard. You aren't at all shy about telling your friends what you think about whether or not K-pop is the best pop, or if Baby Yoda is kind of cute but also a little bit ugly. Now, don't check out here, because trust me, this is for you too. When it comes to speaking up in situations like these, we all have hang-ups. Now, maybe for you, speaking up is a struggle and you constantly question if it's worth the risk. Or maybe speaking up comes easily, but you don't always offer your opinion in, let's say, the nicest way. Either way, there has to be a better way to speak up and share our opinions when we think they are gonna be helpful to someone that we care about, right? So this question of how to find the best way to speak up isn't a new one. About 2,000 years ago, a guy named Paul wrote a letter to a church in a place called Galatia. Now, part of that letter addressed this very issue. Paul wrote this letter because he cared about the believers in that church church so much, and he knew they were just trying to figure out how to live in the best way. But honestly, y'all, they were struggling, because sometimes knowing how to live in the best way can be confusing. And that's why Paul put pen to paper to help his friends out. So let's take a look at some of what he wrote. Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. Now, even though Paul addressed this passage to people who lived a long time ago, I think we can all learn something from this. It doesn't matter if you grew up in the church or if this is your first time here, this can apply to all of us. Paul addressed this passage to fellow Christian believers because they were his friends. He cared about them. He cared about what happened to them. And because of that, he didn't want them to make choices that hurt themselves and hurt others. I think we can all relate to that feeling, right? I mean, when we care about someone else, we want what's best for them. We don't want them to hurt themselves or to hurt others, and sometimes that means we have to speak up when we see them heading in that direction. So, what did Paul say we should do? Well, according to this verse, when we see friends who are struggling with things that might hurt them, or they're moving down a path that's going to lead them to something harmful, it's important that we do what we can to help them get back on the right path. A lot of times, that includes speaking up. Now, I get that this is super hard for a lot of us. I mean, like we said earlier, there are so many reasons not to say something that we know our friends don't necessarily want to hear. We're afraid it's gonna hurt their feelings or upset them or damage the relationship. But I think in situations where our friends are walking towards something that could be really bad news for their lives and for their futures, we have to care more about the person than about the relationship. We have to care enough about our friend that we are willing to speak up, even if it means that our friendship is a little bruised in the process. All right, to start, let's just try this. Put yourself in their shoes. Now, if you were the one who was walking a path that everybody else saw was going to potentially be really bad news for you, would you want someone to tell you? Would you want a friend to stop you or help you or point out that what they saw had the potential to hurt you? Would you want them to have the courage to have a difficult conversation with you? I know I would. Well, when you see a friend in that same place, you have the chance to be that person for them. You have the opportunity to speak up and help them move back towards the right path. Now, like we said, there are some of you who are like, I am not afraid to speak up. I even kind of like telling people they're wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you are super wrong. Well, look back at the verse again. Paul didn't just tell us to help our friends get back on the right path. He told us how we're supposed to do it, with gentleness and humility. It is not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. You need to speak the truth, but you need to do it in the right way and with the right heart. Paul says to gently and humbly help the friends you see struggling down the wrong path. That means speaking with kindness and with love and with encouragement instead of anger and frustration and judgment. It means caring more about the person you're speaking to than the fact that you're right. So speak up, but do it with kindness. Be helpful and encouraging and loving. In other words, use kindness and love when you speak up. Now, when we approach tough conversations with love and kindness, it will change both what we say and how we say it. We'll speak up because we love others and we want what's best for them, and we'll do it in love, using words that encourage and rebuild and help our friends get back on the right path. Remember, use kindness and love when you speak up. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where you think you might need to speak up, I want you to ask yourself a couple of things. 1, what does it look like to love my friend and show kindness in the situation? Maybe it's in the way you talk to them about it, the actual words that you use to have that conversation. And maybe it's in using a gentle tone over a harsh one. Maybe it's choosing to talk about it only with that friend instead of with a bunch of other people. And maybe it's simply agreeing to pray for them or offer them continued encouragement when you see them making good choices, or reminding them that you love them no matter what. And maybe it's not saying anything until you can figure out how to say it in a gentle and humble way. Whatever it is, before you speak, consider what it would look like to show the other person love in that conversation. 2, what would I want? Put yourself in their shoes. If this was you, would you want someone to talk to you about the issue? How would you want them to talk to you when they did? In other words, how would you want someone to show you love and kindness in this conversation? Think about that and try to do the same for the friends around you who need your love in the same way. So this week, keep this in mind. Use kindness and love when you speak out. And as you head out, think about this. What's one thing that keeps me from speaking up or speaking out in love? And cut.
Well, I just love what she said when she was talking about, speaking with love and kindness and how that can bring, like the best out in situations. But what did you get from that?
Yeah, I resonate with that. Just living with my roommates, I will get on each other's nerves. We may do something that we probably shouldn't have done. And it's just not saying the first thing that comes to our minds, but taking a step back and kind of just relaxing and thinking of how can I go about this in a loving way and approach them and talk about it in a loving way and not from a hatred way. That's how it can affect my life. How about with our middle school friends?
I'll probably say with them, like I know that with like even my small group guys, my 7th grade guys, I know that they have a lot of family members and a lot of siblings with like the sibling rivalry, and especially with this quarantine going on, they're spending a lot more time with their families. And like you said, with just like taking a step back and like thinking about what you're going to say before you say it, and like just speaking with love and kindness. And I just love to see how this guy, like how this can change your guys' life and how like this can affect how you guys talk to your siblings and how you guys approach them, and even like your guys' connection as a whole, like in your family, like with your siblings, your mother, father, like anybody. And like I said, with this corona and quarantine going on, I know you guys are kind of getting tired of being around your family all the time. So like Adriana said, just make sure that you guys speak with love and kindness. And I love to see how you guys talk about this in your small groups. But before we get to that, we're going to pray with my good friends. So I want you guys to go ahead and bow your heads.
Hey guys, I would love to pray us out before we go to small group. So if you wouldn't mind bowing your heads with me and we'll pray. Dear God, thank you so much for just giving us great examples of how to proceed through hard conversations with just such grace and kindness and love, Lord. And I pray that if anybody's going through this situation where they don't know how to speak up or what to say, that you just really guide those conversations and that you just give them the words and maybe put them in their shoes to understand what their friend or family member is going through. God, just be present in those conversations. And if they're struggling, continuing what to say, I just pray that we can use this small group time, that they can bounce ideas off of each other and really go to those small group leaders that they trust and kind of talk through these hard conversations, Lord. So I just pray that you bless our small group time moving forward, and that they can just really wrestle with what it means to proceed with love and kindness and grace in everything they do. We love you so, so much. We thank you for another great week, and we just pray this in your awesome name. Amen.
Hey, thanks for praying with us. If it is your first time, we'd love for you to fill out that first time guest link in the description below. It will get you connected with a small group and also a $5 gift card to a place of your choosing.
And guys, if you guys don't know where you need to go for small groups, or if you guys are new here, you guys go ahead and text your name, your grade, and your gender to this number on the screen. They'll get you guys connected to your small groups. I'm so happy that we got to have my friend Ryan out.
I had a lot of fun today.
Yo, we enjoyed you. And guys, don't forget to tune in next Sunday at 11:15, and we'll see you guys next time on Transit Live.